What's going on, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? PlotArmorCards in the house, and I heard we got some crazy new Cyberse support, so I wanted to go ahead and get into this as soon as possible. So first of all, we got ourselves a monster known as Firewall Defensor, level 4 Dark Cyberse effect monster, 1200 attack, 1500 defense. I don't think attack and defense matters too much, since you're going to be linking anyway. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Alright, if this card is sent to the graveyard as link material for a Cyberse monster, you can special summon one Firewall monster from your deck, except Firewall Defensor. Wow, a deck summon after it gets linked. That's pretty good. That has some extending potential there. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect Cyberse monsters. That's not a restriction at all for this deck, honestly, for Cyberse in general, because there's a lot to choose from, trust me. If a Firewall monsters you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Plus a little bit of protection. Okay, solid card. I would definitely say this is a solid card. Next, Firewall Phantom, a level 5 Dark Cyberse effect monster, 2000 attack, 1300 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as link material for a Cyberse monster, you can add one Cynet spell trap from your hand and then discard one card. Wow, that's a good searcher. And then, but you do have to discard a card. I don't think that's too bad because you can add, there's a decent amount of cards that you can add off this. But secondly, you can banish this card from your graveyard during the end phase of this turn. Shuffle one Cyberse monster from your graveyard into the deck. Okay, so it also has some recycling abilities there. So I like this card. Overall, I would say I like both of these cards. I was going to make a point, but then I forgot what that point was. But overall, both of these I would say are pretty solid. Next, okay, 0 attack, 0 defense, level 1. So 1 for 1, and I believe, what's that card called? Period Map. I think so, if I'm remembering. Both of those can be used. So this thing is going to be called Cyberse Sage, and is a ritual tuner monster. Okay, this is interesting. You can ritual summon this card with Cynet Ritual. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During your main phase, you can fusion summon one monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from your field and or graveyard, including a Cyberse monster. Okay, so I guess it works as like a fusion thing. Secondly, fusion facilitator is what I meant. Secondly, if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can target one Cyberse monster or one ritual spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. This has potential, I would say, to diversify and whatnot, but usually ritual monsters, for the most part, are kind of slow unless you base your whole deck around specific ritual, the whole ritual archetype in general. I don't know how good it will be just putting this in your deck specifically. This is something I'll have to test, so I don't want to say it's good, I don't want to say it's bad, because I feel like it has potential to go both ways. It's just something you'll have to test, something I would like to test. So next we got Cyberse Discyberm. Hopefully I said that correctly. Level 6 Dark Cyberse Fusion Effect Monster, 2300 attack, 1500 defense. One Cyberse Ritual Fusion Synchro Xyz or Link monster plus one Cyberse monster. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. During your main phase, you can special summon a Cyberse monster from your hand. Nice, free summon. Then this card's level becomes that monster's. Interesting. I feel like that might have potential for some Xyz plays, just because they both become the same level. That will be seen though. Secondly, when your opponent activates a spell, a trap card, or an effect, and you control a link 4 or higher Cyberse monster quick effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard, negate the activation. Nice. It gives you some a little bit of protection. Ideally, I'd want to use it up and then have it in the grave before using its effect, banishing it from the grave in order to negate. If it's on the field, I would say probably there are a bunch of different situations, but I guess what I'm thinking is I didn't make full use of it, right? But that is another thing that's going to be seen as we get on and actually play these cards. So next, a Link 6, nice. Firewall Dragon Singularity, 3500 attack. The link materials for this one are kind of crazy. Look at that. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. One quick effect, you can target cards your opponent controls and or in their graveyard up to the number of different types of monsters, ritual, fusion, synchro, Xyz you control, and in your graveyard return them to your hand. If you do, this card gains 500 attack for each card returned. Okay, this has potential to get pretty high up there, I would say. Pretty much your opponent, especially if you're going second, your opponent's going to have a lot of stuff in the grave too. So That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But it does have the negative thing of returning them back, you know, so if you don't win right away, then you kind of may have screwed yourself for the next turn. That's just something to think about. Secondly, if a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can target a Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Revivability once per turn, I believe, right? Yes. That's good. I like this card. It is a link 6, so gonna be worth messing around. It is generic though. 3+ effect monsters. Obviously, this effect is Cyberse specific. However, this one has potential OTK enabler there. So something to think about. Next, we got Protect Code Talker. Link 3 Dark Cyberse effect monster. 2300 attack. The link materials are presented in front of us, the front and to the top and right. 2+ effect monsters. Okay, so pretty generic as well. You can only use a second effect once per turn. So your opponent cannot target link 4 or higher link monsters you control with card effects. They also cannot be destroyed by battle. So insane amounts of protection. That's nice. I like that. But it is targeting specific. So that's something to think about. Secondly, if you control a firewall link monster, quick effect, you can banish any number of link monsters from your graveyard whose total link ratings equal exactly 3. Special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. And it has the ability to bring itself back. It's a protector that has the ability to bring itself back. I like this card. I like this card. I like the sound of this card. I like the potential this card definitely has. Next, we got Cynet Rollback. Quick play spell card. Okay. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target one of your banished Cyberse monsters, special summon it. Based on what we're seeing here, a lot of stuff is going to get banished. So this is useful. Very, very useful. You can use this thing's effect, special summon it, and then take advantage of this to special summon that banished monster. I think that's nice. During your main phase, if you have 2,000 life points or less, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 2 of your banished monsters, banished Cyberse monsters specifically, add them to your hand. Okay, that's pretty good. It has the ability to recycle, however, you need to have 2,000 or less. But it's not like it's dead if you don't have 2,000 or less, right? Because then you have the first effect that is really, really good, I would say. So, yes, really, really like this card as well. So far, I've pretty much liked every single card we've seen here. Cynet Circuit, normal trap, meaning it's trap trick searchable. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. Target 1 firewall link monster you control. Special summon any number of monsters from your graveyard to either field so they are linked to it. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hold up. That's crazy. That's crazy because you can, if a monster this card points to is destroyed by battle, you can essentially take advantage of your opponent's target a fire link monster, special summon any number of monsters from your graveyard to either field. So you can summon like your weaker monster, I guess, pointing to any of these zones, take advantage of its effect after destroying it, or sent to the graveyard. So if you were to do it the other way, you can target a Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then taking advantage of that effect. I think that's pretty good. Secondly, if you have 2,000 life points or less, you can banish this card from your graveyard, return 1 firewall link monster from your graveyard to the extra deck, then you can special summon it from the extra deck, plus recyclability. Wow. I can't help but think if this was a spell card, this would be like infinitely better. I know this is a good card, but if it was a spell card, it would be infinitely better in my opinion. Would that be too broken though? What do you guys think? If it was a spell card, let me know in the comments below. But overall, I really, really do like these cards. This is definitely something I'm going to have to play around with. I don't have too much experience with just Cyberse overall. I have messed around with, what was the At Ignister. That's the deck I'm thinking of. At Ignisters is a deck I've messed around with a little bit. And I hope to expand my Cyberse repertoire, especially with these cards coming out. So I'm learning just like you guys are. So anyways, guys, this is PlotArmorCards signing out for the day. And if you like what you see, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next video.